Your love has no reservations, expanding our experience of grace. May we have no hesitation to live your love, to share your love, to be your love in a world restrained by fear of a lack of years. We wonder what difference we can make. Shake us loose from every excuse, because we've been made for this day. Your love has no reservations, expanding our experience of grace. May we have no hesitation.
The choir is in the loft, so nobody can see them. And I think they're often shocked when they see that there are maybe only 7 or 8 people up there, but the quality of the music sounds like there's so much more.
When I came to Trinity, Holy Trinity, Rita had just become our choir director, and she was very persuasive to reach out to a lot of people. And the majority of our members are people who wouldn't normally sing in the choir, but her ability to make music simple and understood for anybody creates an atmosphere that anybody can come and sing. Sit down about every other month or so, and we talk about the hymns, and we choose the hymns so that we've got them chosen well in advance. I think we have a really good mix of traditional Lutheran liturgy along with some more of the modern and more contemporary music. So I like that there's a lot of diversity in our worship.
Worship in Holy Trinity, I think of the light coming through the windows and shining in people's faces and just sort of illuminating them. I think of the music from the choir loft and from the people singing in the pews. I think of prayer, both silent and communal. I think of people's faces at Holy Communion. The children's faces, who I think often recognize far more clearly than we do what it means that they're receiving the body of Jesus Christ and the blood of Jesus Christ, and their intensity in receiving it.
Always been strong in the music department and the organ and all of that piece, and that's an important part, but that is just one part. It's really being together under that cross that's in the sanctuary, and to me that centers us in worship, whether there's 2 of us or more.
It's a well-used building, and it may be, I think it probably is, our primary means of hospitality to the community. It's not unusual on Sundays for the building to be in use from about 8 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. 2 groups having worship services and coffee hour together afterwards. There often are scouts or other groups that come and meet in the afternoon. Confirmation class will often be after that. And then by the time confirmation class ends, the German band, the Oompa band, comes in and sets up Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Jane is in the office. Monday night we have a large AA group that meets. Tuesday we have, I think it's the Good Neighbors Food Co-op that meets once a month, and then other random groups will use that space when they're not there. Wednesdays, Brownies or Girl Scouts are in using some of the Sunday school classrooms, and the cheerleading group is using the facilities in the fellowship hall. There. Thursday night is Drama Kids. Saturday there will be birthday celebrations, wedding festivities will happen in the fellowship hall. It's not unusual for us to have several hundred people through the building during the course of the week. God bless Ferris Bliss, who shows up with paint cans or toolbox or whatever and fixes things all over the building. Carl Anderson is the head of the facilities committee. Don Williams is our sexton, and between the 3 of them and a couple of others, the ordering gets done, the cleaning gets done. The building is warm for the groups that are coming in, so it's warm at the appropriate times. This is some of the invisible work that people never see. I think this congregation serves the community in more ways than they recognize. We have done walkathons to raise funds for itinerant children and their schooling. We do gather food for the food banks. We contribute to 4 different food banks on a rotation basis. Our knitters make things for veterans.
A lady came up to me and she asked me if I wanted to bring home communion to people, and I didn't know what that was because I had liked doing communion in church. And so I eventually, she explained to me that I'd be taking communion to people who are in nursing homes or hospitals or in their house and they weren't able to get to church. So I thought that was very interesting that they're not able to come to church, but they want to be a part of it. So I decided that it was a great idea for me to bring church to them wherever they are.
The Seafarers mission always happens on a Sunday. I know that Dave DeVore works really hard at organizing it. I know that the people who go love it and they return to it year after year faithfully. I know that they are often mobbed with the ship workers who come off and need to wire their money home. They need to stop at the store and pick up things that they need. So the people, the adults and the teens who go there, are pretty busy nonstop from about 9 to 2, I believe. I had talked to people about a social service fair, and they put on a big community fair. This was last August or September. There was a bouncy house out front for the kids, and there were animals in the back. The YMCA was here painting faces. The food bank was here. And they put together a raffle of some 20 different items. And all the proceeds from the raffles then were distributed to each of the agencies that had come to put up a display. It was a great day.
We do the blessing of the pets, which I think is an outreach.
That we may love and honor all your works, O God.
We don't have that service in our church or on our property. It's at Frothingham Park. So, and we did that on purpose because we want other people, whatever your denomination is, whatever your faith background is, that it's an opportunity for you to interact with other people.
I am on call 24/7. If the phone rings in the middle of the night, I answer it. In the last month, I have visited in the emergency department of the hospital for one of our members and a couple of her family members who were there with her. There was a family that couldn't find childcare at 6:15 in the morning. So I went and I was with their kids and put them on the school bus until 7:45. I've been known to be called by someone who ran out of gas, and I go pick her up and either take her home or take a can of gas with me. Stephen Ministry is a key ingredient in the community. The Stephen Ministers work with people who are in need, whether they are members of our congregation or not.
Stephen Ministry is wonderful. It's just a walking beside people in faith. You just, you don't try to bring a cure or a problem solve for folks. It's just when people are going through hard times, whatever it is, it's really just a being there and walking alongside them. And it's really, honestly, the Stephen Ministers get as much out of it as the care, the recipients.
My parents moved to Northeastern, and they moved to an area known as the Swedish slum in Northeastern. And when they came here, they had also gone to a Lutheran church in Brockton. So all the neighbors had encouraged them to come to Holy Trinity. So when I was a year old, I was not baptized here, but when I was a year old, my family started coming to Holy Trinity. It's where my faith was formed and hopefully will continue to grow here. Do you guys like pictures? Yeah, because if you have all words, it's harder to understand. So the Bible tells us stories. There's two parts to the Bible. There's the old part and the new part. Right now, I am church school coordinator. I love teaching. I love sharing my faith. I like being a mentor, hopefully a good mentor. But I just really feel that it's really important to the church. That's the foundation of everything that we do, is the kids. And so I just feel it's a really important ministry, and it's one that we need to have. What I would love to achieve is that the children feel God's light shining through them, and that they want to share it wherever they go. And that could be just in the community at school, being a nice friend to a child who isn't as lucky as they are, to bring food to the food pantry. The lessons, the Bible, all of that's really, really important, but it's how we use our faith and we share it with others, and how we set an example as we are out in the world. When we walk out those doors and we say, go in peace, serve the Lord, that's our job. And what I hope to instill with the kids is that they feel that passion to go out and to serve the Lord and to be a light in the world. Okay? Dear God, please, thank you for bringing us all here together. Thank you for everything that you give us. We are so, so lucky. Thank you for the sun and the moon, all our food, our families, and our church family.
The confirmation process was actually, I went through the first year that Pastor Hughes was our pastor here. So I went through and we actually learned a lot. I was expecting kind of a subtle, oh, this is what the Bible is, and then you don't usually remember it. But we had like quizzes every once in a while. They weren't tough quizzes, and we all knew the stuff, but it was like kind of like a checkup on us to make sure that we weren't just dozing off, we were paying attention. So now I know all the books of the Bible, I know all the 10 Commandments, and I think it's really interesting.
2015, 30,000 Lutheran teenagers gathered in downtown Detroit.
Chopper 7 got a look at a big event going on today in Hart Plaza. Look at that sea of orange there. This is the youth gathering of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America.
When we got there, there were 10,000 teenagers, all in one giant field, all standing around having one service together, and all together, like, they had speakers that came and they talked, and they were very motivational and very powerful.
I'm here tonight to share with you 3 things, so if you hear nothing else, Please remember these next 3 things, especially if you are someone who is living with mental illness or any other chronic disease. 1, you are loved and worthy. You have been crafted in the image of God. You are a child of God who has been fearfully and wonderfully made. It does not
Each
matter
day,
what has happened.
they had buses and lunches prepared, and 10,000 of those kids and their adult chaperones went out to surrounding communities for service projects.
We went to a small plantation. It was a community farm where people from Detroit could go there and get fresh vegetables and produce. And we expanded it, we mowed the lawn, we uprooted some of the grass so she could plant more when we left. And we just took an area that was totally like overrun with weeds and stuff, and we planted it so that there was more produce and more people could get food from there.
It was a great experience, and the kids live it, they have it, they hold it in their hearts.
Holy Trinity 100% supported us going. Whenever we were at church and we were asking and we were saying, oh, we're having a fundraiser, everyone would instantly go, okay. And everyone was 100% supportive. The council actually helped donate some money so that we could go. Everyone here was completely open to the idea of us going and completely open to the idea of us experiencing new things, and it was great.
This is recognized as a gifted congregation. We have resources and assets that other congregations yearn to have. Our building itself, our parking lot, the roof that so far doesn't leak, our musician who just does wonderful things with limited resources, the people who do wonderful things with limited resources. We are a gifted congregation, and I'm hoping people are able to recognize that and rejoice in it, because it is God's gift in our midst.
You know, why have the things, the place, the building, if you're not willing to maintain it and make it glow, and because that just sends off such a great welcoming, attitude, and it's sort of a vibe. And for me, that's how I feel about my own home, the things that I've been lucky enough, blessed enough to have in my world.
God gives us everything that we have, and we return that to others through the service of the church.
Your love has no reservations, expanding our experience of grace. May we have no hesitation to live your love, to share your love, to be your love in the world.
We don't give to this to earn any credit with God. There are no expectations, actually, that we're going to respond. God gives everything freely. So there's an invitation for us to respond, also with no expectations of any personal return, but great expectations that the ministry of Jesus Christ in this place will be enhanced by the giving of our gifts.
May we have no hesitation to live your love, to share your love, to be your love in the world. You call us into community, sharing hope because we see in bread and wine your love aligns, inspiring a new your love.